good time to get in then. Samir Arora, founder and fund manager, Helios Capital, who joins us on the show. Hi, Samir. First of all, happy Diwali to you, to your team, and to your entire family as well. Wishing you all the best for the coming year, and hope the last one as well was an absolute cracker. Tell us, Samir, how are you feeling about the markets? Things are looking up. What's your feeling? What's your sense is in terms of this bull market, which is alive and kicking?
I think it's very much alive, and it is India's opportunity to lose. I was in Tokyo last week, and normally I go there for this conference where hedge fund managers meet investors, and normally we would get about 20, 25 investor meetings. This time there were more than 50 meetings, basically showing interest in India, secondly in us, but first in India. And that is from the FII side, you can say. So I don't agree with this conversation that I just saw that, foreign investors are selling because they find opportunity because the interest rates are high. That is one small part. First of all, the equity guys don't immediately switch around their interest to debt, and they find within their basket, India versus China or India versus something else. So I think these are small things. Foreigners will come, and Indians have always been there in the last many years. Therefore, both the things will work together as long as the rest of the thing is doing well, which is the corporate sector and earnings. Therefore, overall, it is positive.
Samir, hi. Happy Diwali to you, your team members, your family, all near dear ones. Great to see you in your festive form. So, let me ask you this. The mood is pretty good because the market's held up. We've been range-bound. We haven't really fallen despite all the uncertainties. Let me just ask you about one of the key events that lies ahead, and that's the general election, right? Now, if for whatever reason it doesn't go as per script, as market's big expectation, if there's any volatility or any sort of confusion around that, what kind of complications may it lead to, if at all?
So you are talking about BJP or Prime Minister Modi not being there after the central elections, correct? Because it will
yes.
I think it will not matter how many seats they win. I mean, if they win 20 less, 30 less, also nobody cares. But if, let's say, it's like 2004, where there's a change of government altogether, I think you will lose like 2004, which means 20% down on day one. And then you recover it over next 12, 18 months. But the probability of that, I mean, I don't know how to calculate, but I would think no more than 5, 7, 10%. But if it happens, yeah, the market will fall. You can't immediately discount absolute surprises. And then people will have to adjust. But that is what happened in 2004 also. And then, life moves on. We have seen market move on with wars, and elections is one thing. But initially, and for the 6 month, 3 month, 9 month, it will be a negative performance for sure.
Absolutely. Samir, hi, happy Diwali. By the way, who are the two fellows behind you on the wall?
They're not two. I wanted to show, but these guys said, so we have a copy of a Nashville bar called the Legends Bar. So we define our own legends, and one of them is me.
I thought of that. The one in blue, we can't see.
Yeah, there's a Bill Gates, Buffett, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, it looked Buffettish. And,
the blue, there we go. The blue. The legend in blue.
Yeah, I think you should insert. Wow. You should insert yourself there, Samir.
We were trying to get Roger Federer, but his photo doesn't look very Roger Federer-like, so it has to be redone by the artist.
That's very interesting, Samir. How's the fund coming along? How's the
fund will start open on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay.
So you'll get the first anything. And you can only invest after the fund closes. So we couldn't invest on day one of the NFO. You can only do it after the NFO closes.
Okay. Just very briefly, Samir, Ramdevji was on the program 2 days back. He said we perhaps will get a rally like what we saw in the 2014 elections. Basically into elections. That back then, you don't think so?
No. That, in 2013, market had fallen till September about 30%.
Because there was that rupee crisis and all that. Rupee had hit a new...
the market had fallen. And in 2014, my NAV of my offshore fund was up 74%. There's no way we are making 74% next year. Because, it came after... It was, first of all, a big change. So there were more
correct.
expectations, more anticipation, more excitement. And now it is actually, I don't think that can happen once you have been in government for 10 years or whatever number of years. So no, it can't be like that. But we don't need to sell that kind of a scenario for people
Yeah,
to
no,
get
absolutely,
equity.
absolutely.
So basically,
No,
the idea is over time, you will make at a market level, not fund level, market level, some 13-15% per annum, which is in line with the corporate earning growth and GDP growth in nominal terms or risk premium over equities, fixed income. And plus minus you can make, no 1 year is same as another, but over 5-7 years this is what happens. But to say that this is like 2013 end right now effectively,
No, okay, point well taken. Yeah, that was the height of taper tantrums and, all kinds of things were happening back then. So true, we're in a very different environment. Got that. Samir, stay on. We have more questions for you and we want to ask you what the wealth generation tip or idea is going to be. We will do that and keep quizzing Samir right after this break. Stay with us. Well, the market's maintaining its form and style, since 100 points up on the Nifty. So, Samir, tell us what wealth ideas for the new Samvat 2080. If I had, let's say, I don't know, if I had like 10 crore rupees, where should I put it?
Wow.
there was recently an NFO that just closed and it started.
Okay, let's talk about themes. I get that, Samir. But let's also talk about themes.
These fellows haven't even invested that money. Let them invest it. Then you'll see the portfolio. But big picture, picture wealth. This thing, according to me, is that to survive is to win. In the sense, you look at all the guys you call on TV and interview. These are not the normal group. You look at how many people started in 95 and 97 in terms of doing prop investing like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala or Ramesh Damani, or how many people were fund managers in those days. There were hundreds of them, maybe not hundreds of fund managers, but there by definition were thousands and millions of people who started. So in this game, first have reasonable expectations. This idea that last 2-3 years returns is what is normal. I see on Twitter and even in these Diwali chats kind of thing that, I would not buy this kind of stock or that kind of stock. I would buy only mid cap and only small cap, because very few have the ability to come back if things go wrong. Here, the whole game is the market is going up 14-15%. You go up 20% per annum, you are a superhero. And not just a hero. You will make enormous amounts of wealth. So the point is, please read some history first. Please read that this time is different is not a formula in life. That till 19 this was happening. Suddenly if something else is happening, it is not sustainable forever. And basically look at the group of people who started, go and do some basic stuff on what kind of returns are reasonable. And not to think that only the stocks that double every 6 months is how anybody can do it for long and become wealthy. It is a slightly longer term game. And I think another thing which I see, particularly on Twitter, since I am active on Twitter, is that many people think that investing or trading is the way to build a life. I think you'll become very boring. Nobody wants to meet you after some time because you are at home and you may have money, but you have no circle really. And every day you can't talk about stocks. You have to do your job and take the money which you earn, save, and put it in the market yourself. It's not to sell my mutual fund. Yourself, you do it, but you don't need to sit 10 hours in front if all you're doing is prop investing. If you're doing prop trading, anyway, you're not going to make money in the end, so it doesn't matter.
That's a underhanded punch.
When we say this line, we mean most of the time. Of course, somebody will stand up and say, I made it. Well, then obviously, somebody will make, but mostly not.
And Samir said it in this classic poker face style. So absolutely, I love it. But it's such good advice, right? I mean, you need to have beyond stocks as well.
A life beyond stocks.
Absolutely, stuff to talk to, read, and all of that. Absolutely important.
Nigel tries to follow that. I try and follow Nigel. Samir, just saying for the record. After Fridays.
Samir, I don't think I'll be worthy of coming on that backdrop out there in one of those photographs. But before next Diwali, at least we'll have a drink together,
Okay, sure, please come to Singapore. By that time, Roger Federer's face also would have become okay.
No, in India, we'll stick to domestic.
All right, we'll take a quick commercial break here. Samir, great to have you with us here. Happy Diwali once again. Thank